now my great pleasure to introduce Nebraska's head women's basketball coach, Amy Williams.
Fresh off their WNIT win, Coyotes women's basketball is saying goodbye to head coach Amy Williams.
She's heading to her alma mater, the University of Nebraska. That's our top story tonight on Coyote News, which begins right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Good evening, I'm Kathleen Surrey.
And I'm Devin Reiners. We begin with our top stories. South Dakota women's basketball coach Amy Williams is heading to her alma mater, the University of Nebraska.
Williams was officially announced the Nebraska women's head basketball coach yesterday. Williams, who graduated from Nebraska in 1998, accepted the job after leading the USD women over the past 4 years. During her tenure at USD, Williams' teams compiled a 96-44 record, becoming the second winningest coach in program history. Williams says her major priority is to re-recruit the players already committed to Nebraska and sell them on her vision of what the program can be, and that returning to Nebraska is a dream come true.
To introduce Nebraska's head women's basketball coach, Amy Williams.
We're going to compete for championships. We're going to do it the right way. And most of all, we're going to do it together, and I can't wait.
Williams signed a 5-year contract paying $575,000 a year, almost $400,000 more than her contract at USD. Williams says only a special offer could take her away from USD, and Nebraska was one of those. USD has begun its coaching search already and will use a similar process they used to land new football coach Bob Nielsen. And ahead in sports, we'll be talking with senior Kelly Stewart to get player reaction. And now on to other developing news. Here's Crystal Schoenbauer.
Breaking news, SDSU has picked a replacement for their men's basketball coach after Scott Nagy left for Wright State. The announcement will take place tomorrow. ESPN's reporting that Iowa State assistant coach TJ Otzelberger is the pick. Malfunctioning memory sticks and ballot counting machines are being blamed for hiccups in the vote tallying process during yesterday's city election in Sioux Falls. Volunteers and members of the city auditor's office worked until about 10:30 last night, counting the nearly 13,000 votes cast. The first results didn't come in until about an hour and 45 minutes after the polls closed. The Tri-Valley School Board has given final approval for some of the school employees to carry guns, a first for South Dakota. State lawmakers passed a school centennial law in March 2013, a few months after the deadly Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Connecticut. But the Tri-Valley is the first to approve such a policy in South Dakota. School administrators aren't disclosing which employees will be designated as sentinels. However, the superintendent says it likely will be a handful of employees who will volunteer and undergo training. And now to weather. Today, it felt almost like summer with a high of 78 degrees. This is a live look at the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. Expected to remain warm through the week. This weekend, it looks like rain is in the forecast.
Thanks, Crystal. Idea Fest is here, and Coyote News' Michaela Feldman has a preview of the annual event and has the answer to why it's so important for student research projects. She's talking with senior Kirsty Longley and Emily Dykstra. Michaela?
Kathleen, Idea Fest offers students throughout different majors the opportunity to present their research. Emily, this is the 24th annual showcase. Why does the university continue to choose to put on Idea Fest every year?
Idea Fest is a great way for students to share their ideas. It's like literally a festival of ideas. Undergraduate research is one of those things where students, it's something that students will take with them past their time at USD, whether it's in grad school. The skills that they learn are things that help make them good graduates. And so to keep having Idea Fest is a great way for students to have that experience to present their research, but also for students to see other research that's going on around campus.
Kirsty, you didn't present your research today, but others who are conducting the same research as you did. Can you explain what your research is and how it really helps students and other people throughout the world?
Yeah, so I work in a lab at the med school, and we do research on a protein called ubiquinone-1. Now, ubiquinone-1 has been shown to have an impact in a lot of diseases that are involved in protein aggregation. So when your cells aren't working properly or something's going wrong and proteins get in the wrong kind of conformation of folding, they'll build up. So diseases like Alzheimer's, cancer, and all of that result. So that is what I do right now, and I didn't present today. I was running around doing AWOL stuff, but it is just really important to see how much bigger things are than just right here and get involved outside of USD.
All right, thanks for talking to us today. Keynote speakers discuss some of the similar research they have conducted today. Live in the Muck, I'm Michaela Feldman.
Thanks, Michaela. USD has named Catherine Birkland and Sandy McCohen the winners of the 2016 Belbis Larson Awards for Excellence in Teaching. It's the highest honor USD bestows on its educators. McCohen is an associate professor in the Political Science Department and Criminal Justice Studies. Birkland is an assistant professor in the Division of Economics and Decision Sciences in the Beacom School of Business. Both will receive a framed certificate, a commemorative medal, and $5,000.
USD is gearing up for several changes this summer that will have an impact on many departments. We break it down for you. Kinesiology and sports science will move from Dalzell to a new building, which will be called the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. Occupational therapy and physical therapy will move into the new space in summer 2017. Basketball, volleyball, and athletic administration offices will move from the DakotaDome to the new complex. The math department will relocate from Dakota Hall to Patterson Hall. And communication studies will move from Beacom Hall to Dakota Hall.
Coming up after the break, if you're a senior, there's a lot on your plate. We have details on some things you need to be aware of. Next on Coyote News.
This is Coyote News.
Fostering is when you take in an animal into your home and you take care of them until we can find them a permanent forever home.
If you can find it in your heart to do it, it's rewarding.
We do all the vetting, the neutering, the spaying, the medications.
The Humane Society has lots and lots of great dogs and cats that can pull at your heartstrings and make you realize you got a little more to give.
Clotique is proud to support programming on Coyote News. Located on Cottage Avenue, 1 block north of Cherry Street, Clotique offers women's apparel, footwear, and accessories.
This is Coyote News.
Tau Kappa Epsilon hosted their 32nd annual Teak Fight Night last Thursday. The event was held at the Vermilion High School gym to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. The fraternity hosted 13 matches consisting of both men and women fights.
We do it because it obviously raises a ton of money, brings a ton of people out for an event that everyone can have some fun with. So personally, I kind of wanted to get knocked out. No, I'm just playing. I just had a work ethic to go out there and try a new sport.
Even Charlie Coyote made an appearance in the ring to knock out cancer. The fraternity raised $5,700 by the end of the night, making it a record total for Teak Fight Night.
With finals just around the corner, students have a lot to do, but there's even more responsibilities for seniors who are preparing for graduation. While high school seniors are coming to campus to prepare for their college careers, USD seniors are getting ready to leave campus for good at the end of the semester. But they have to do more than just show up to the graduation ceremony. There are several tasks seniors have to do before they get their diploma.
They email you to see if you're walking or not, and you can fill out a survey and you say, yes, I'm walking, or no, I'm not. Barnes & Noble emails you a lot. Purchase your regalia. Like, okay. I just got an email the other day about having to do a loan counseling thing online about how you're going to pay for your loans if you're going to defer them more, if you're doing more education and that sort of thing.
Seniors may also face exit exams or portfolio submissions depending on their department. Spring commencement for 2016 is May 7th. And although some students are unaware of this group, the speech and debate team gathered in the Muck on Monday to showcase their skills before a live audience. It was an opportunity for the team members to showcase their talents before participating in the National Forensics Association's National Championship Tournament in Muncie, Indiana. To qualify for the championship tournament, students must have already qualified in a previous tournament and gotten to a final round.
Coming up after the break, the hit show CSI came to Vermilion, except in real life. How students are learning to work with crime scenes when Coyote News returns.
This is Coyote News. This is Coyote News.
As the school year comes to an end, students looking for a way to creatively express themselves can do just that at Open Mic Night. On the first Tuesday of every month, you can find students hanging out with their friends in the Muck Pit Lounge, watching Open Mic Night and supporting their fellow Yotes.
Our goal with Open Mic Night is to just spread the word and get as many students here as we can, just so that they have a chance to share their talents if they are too scared to share them in a different way.
Every student has a chance to perform and show off any type of talent.
The best part about Open Mic Night is the nights that there's a lot of variety here, besides just like singing, or like sometimes people come with a guitar, or they, I don't know, rap or tell jokes.
Open Mic Nights are run by CAB.
Students were able to learn that things are not always as they seem at a recent CSI competition on campus. Coyote News' Caitlin Brown has more.
Students attending the competition were welcoming as South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation agents gave a crash course about how to analyze a crime scene.
We want them to understand the complexity of working in the field, but we also want them to interact with not only one another, but also professionals in the field, so they understand that teamwork environment and professionalism.
DCI agents presenting taught students how to secure a crime scene, mark evidence, and identify fingerprints.
Students competing were able to participate in investigating their own crime scenes on campus at locations both at Dakota Hall and Farber House.
Arriving at the scene of mock crimes, students put to test the skills they learned from the agents.
It's interesting that we can take advantage of our own situation on a scenario that's given very specifically, and it's well thought out.
The criminal justice director hopes that similar events occur in the future.
These are the kind of activities that we're really trying to do more and more of in order to bring our students into contact with professionals in the field, help them to understand what the work in the field is actually like, and give them an opportunity to not only get to know each other, but also us as faculty.
Students were judged on how well they analyzed the crime scenes. For Coyote News, I'm Caitlin Brown.
An unusual sight in the Muck, robots. The event was sponsored by USD's Computer Science Department. The goal was to encourage high school students to learn more about programming. Each team was sent a robot, and students were tasked with programming them to complete a maze. There were 2 rounds, and 27 teams from 19 school districts participated. Mitchell Christian High School took home first place. Procrastinating is a problem many USD students face, especially with the final weeks of the semester. On this week's Coyote blog, Andy shares with us how she plans to spend her time during the home stretch of the spring semester.
So we only have 2.5 weeks left before classes end and finals begin. At this point in the semester, many students, including me, typically start procrastinating. Well, procrastinating more than usual. But this is the time where we need to not procrastinate so we can finish off the semester on a high note. This semester, I've decided to take action. Instead of sitting around and doing nothing at the end of the year, I'm going to try and accomplish something I've never done before. I am going to successfully rewatch all 9 seasons of How I Met Your Mother in 2 weeks. But before you start judging me, I should tell you that that's not all I'm going to do. I'm also going to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off at one point because I watch that movie roughly once a month, and I haven't had a Bueller viewing for April yet. Don't worry, I'll finish all my semester projects and assignments too, in addition to watching Ferris Bueller. I understand that I should focus all my time and energy on doing something important, like singing along to Twist and Shout while Matthew Broderick dances on a parade float. Because during this crucial point in my education, I feel like I need to focus on the really important things in life. I think I should enjoy my time here, because life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. For Coyote Blog, I'm Andy Hartman.
Thanks, Andy. Coming up after the break, it's not just the new arena coming to campus. We look at some of the other athletic construction projects when Coyote News returns.
This is Coyote News.
Climbing's awesome because it's challenging, both mentally and physically.
You gotta love climbing because even when you're not climbing, you get a great view.
Climbing's great because I feel like Spider-Man.
Climbing is great, because even my nerd friends can do it.
Climbing's awesome because there's always someone who has your back.
Come to the rock wall and figure out why climbing's awesome for you.
The Coyote Twin Theaters in downtown Vermilion, providing entertainment Tuesdays through Sundays. A proud supporter of USD student media.
This is Coyote News.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the new track and field facility is just about ready for competition, and Coyote News' Heath Nimke speaks with a senior women's basketball player about Coach Williams leaving the program. I'm Kayla Dorhout.
And I'm Levi Goots. A USD softball player breaks a program record, and in Cassidy's Corner, she gives us her take on this past weekend's Masters. First, the headlines. Crystal?
Tonight marks the end of the legendary career of Kobe Bryant. He played all 20 NBA seasons with the Lakers after entering the draft right out of high school. Bryant has won 5 titles, 1 MVP, 2 NBA Final MVPs, and is an 18-time All-Star. Bryant is also 3rd in all-time in scoring. Bryant plays his last career game tonight against the Utah Jazz. The Golden State Warriors host the Memphis Grizzlies tonight with NBA history on the line. The Warriors need to win tonight's season finale to break the single-season wins record held by the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls. The Bulls went 72-10 that year. The Warriors currently sit at 72-9. Over the weekend, former New Orleans Saints defense lineman Will Smith was murdered after getting into a fender bender. Today's coroner results indicate that Smith was shot 8 times and many of the bullets struck vital organs. Cardell Hayes, the man involved in the car accident, has been booked with second-degree murder, but charges are still pending. And those are your headlines.
Earlier in the newscast, we told you about women's basketball coach Amy Williams heading to Nebraska. Coyote News' Heath Nimke is live in the muck with senior Kelly Stewart to talk about Williams' departure. Heath.
Head coach Amy Williams is heading down south to Nebraska, that is. I'm joined here with former basketball player Kelly Stewart to talk about it. Thanks for joining us today. What was the team's reaction when they heard she was leaving?
They were fairly surprised. They were sad, but at the same time, they all understood. I mean, Coach Williams is an outstanding coach. She's had great success here. It would be weird if people didn't come knocking at her door, and with Nebraska being her alma mater and just still close to home, close to her family, it was kind of just the perfect opportunity for her.
The public was told on Monday. When was the team told?
The team was also told on Monday. They had a team meeting, I think early afternoon, and then about 30 seconds after the meeting, that's when Nebraska released it. So it was a late decision for her. She was really back and forth on it, and then obviously told the team, and then it came out.
Did this come as a surprise to you?
It wasn't a huge surprise to me. Like I said, you know, she's had great success here, and she is an absolutely outstanding coach. So with teams coming knocking at her door, especially Nebraska being that alma mater,
modern, being that perfect scenario. I wasn't really surprised, and I'm just so happy for her.
Who do you think will be a good fit to replace Amy?
You know, those are some big shoes to fill. She's just so awesome, but I have no doubt that the athletic department will find the right hire and find a person that will continue her success. I honestly have no clue who it will be, but I know that they'll do a good job.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
The search continues to find a new women's head basketball coach. Live in the Muck, I'm Heath Nimke.
The Sanford Coyote Sports Center isn't the only new facility being added to USD's campus, as the track and field team's also receiving a new complex. By this weekend, the Coyote track and field team will have full use of its new facility. Contractors are currently putting in the final touches, but the facility will be ready by the next meet on Tuesday. The only remaining items to be completed are the restrooms located behind the bleachers and reseeding the grass that surrounds the track. Head track coach Lucky Huber says they've installed some unique items in the new field that make it stand out from the rest.
And we also put in ground timing. So just like a road race where you kind of wear a bib number, we'll do the same thing. And it's kind of modeled after NASCAR. When people go across the line, you kind of know what the order is. And sometimes in a longer race, they get out of order and you don't always know who's in what place. So we think that'll make it exciting.
The field will showcase more events near the stands to make it a more enjoyable viewing experience, and a 2% inclined hill for resistance training. Huber says everything the new track has will become a valuable recruiting asset. The Coyotes open the facility for competition on Tuesday for the USD Twilight Meet, and then host the Summit League Championships beginning on May 12th.
USD senior first baseman Yvonne Minogue became the new Coyotes all-time hits leader after hitting a double in the 5th inning in yesterday's game against Kansas City. Minogue's double gave her 243 career hits, surpassing Julie McReynolds' record held since 2003. The Coyotes dropped the first game against Kansas City 10-1, but won the second game on a walk-off double by Katie Cochran of the bottom of the 8th inning to earn the series split. The Coyotes are off this weekend, but will return to action next Tuesday as they travel to Ames to take on Iowa State in a doubleheader. USD's tennis team had a heartbreaker to Omaha yesterday, losing 4-3 at the Miracle Hills Tennis Center. The loss drops the Coyotes to 8-10 overall and 1-1 in Summit League. Head coach Brett Barnett says they played well in spurts, but didn't play with the intensity needed to win a close match. The Coyotes continue Summit League play against IUPUI Friday in Vermillion.
Both USD golf teams have finished their final tournaments before the Summit League Championships begin. The Coyote women's golf team finished 10th at Montana State Bobcat Spring Invite, which concluded yesterday. The 54-hole event featured 98 golfers from 17 teams. Junior Brenna Lervik and freshman Jennifer Vincent finished tied for 14th and 16th respectively. On the men's side, USD finished 8th out of 11 teams at the Oral Roberts Shootout, which also finished yesterday. Senior Miles Death was the top finisher for the Coyotes, tying for 22nd place. The women travel to Nebraska City next Monday for their conference meet, while the men's conference tournament takes place on May 1st in Newton, Kansas. In Cassidy's Corner this week, she gives us her take on Sunday's dramatic Masters finish.
The pressure of performing well can affect any athlete, whether they're a professional or not. The nerves begin to settle in prior to the start of the game or tournament. It's about knowing what to do once the nerves set in that separate the good athletes from the best. Jordan Spieth is an example of an athlete falling to pressure after his collapse at this past weekend's Masters golf tournament. Spieth is the former world #1 and the defending Masters champion. Spieth had a lot of pressure on his shoulders. As one of the youngest competitors in the field, Spieth was trying to live up to expectations. Spieth uncharacteristically blew a 3-stroke lead on the back nine after shooting back-to-back bogeys, followed by a quadruple bogey. Spieth wound up finishing second to England's Danny Willett. Willett was the last golfer to qualify for the tournament. He almost didn't play in the tournament because of recently becoming a father. When compared to Spieth, Willett had absolutely no pressure to deal with, and in turn, Willett was able to throw down a great 4 rounds of golf. Spieth was faced with the unrelenting pressure of not only meeting his personal desire to win, but the demands that come from the media's facts, figures, and what-if reporting. It was never a Spieth versus Willett duel or America versus England match. It was always Spieth versus the expectations of all fans, players, and media. It's often those that can shut out the outside world in times of pressure that are able to perform the best. And that's Cassidy's Corner.
Job interview. Stay with us.
This is Coyote News.
USD's Media and Journalism Department can be seen and heard all over campus. Faculty members know that hands-on experience now is the key to success after college. Get professional experience by participating in one of the many practicums offered. Have your voice heard on the radio. Edit a promo for a campus organization. Investigate breaking news stories for a weekly newspaper. Design advertisements for local businesses. Get involved with the Media and Journalism Department at USD and start your future now.
The Latino Student Organization is a all-inclusive student organization that focuses on bringing in Latino culture to University of South Dakota. We do fiestas, we do piñata parties. We also just hold potlucks where we cook and we just share Latino culture and food and just mingle.
Fast Auto Glass is proud to support programming on Coyote News. Located at 222 West Main Street, Fast Auto Glass services windshield replacements and repairs for commercial and residential vehicles.
This is Coyote News.
This week, Friday isn't just any other Friday. It's tax day.
On this week's Out and About, we asked USD students how they file their taxes.
My mom.
I learned how to in high school, but I don't remember anymore.
I know it involves your W-2 that you receive from the government, and then you can also apply your tuition statement.
I don't.
I file taxes by emailing my mom all the forms that she needs.
I don't know anything about taxes. I'm just a dumb kid.
I don't.
You get a form and you have to write down all your revenues and your expenses and you send it into the government.
I just know I get money back during April. I let my mom take care of that.
I use H&R Block online.
Really funny story. I'm actually going to do that right now. I'm having a friend help me and she actually has experience filing taxes. So that's going to be my night tonight.
Every student will go through the dreaded job interview in their lives.
In this week's Coyote Shorts, learn about some tips that will help you land your next job.
Come on in. As you can see, I'm a major overachiever. So this is a basic sales position. Gonna be on your feet a lot. Gonna be moving around. So good. One second. Hey, what's up? I don't know. I'm at my interview. I just don't think that this is gonna... You can leave. All right. See you Monday.
That's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And if you have any stories you'd like to see on Coyote News, email them to kyotnews@coyotes.usd.edu. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.